and stone divine. It's all about your top four, nothing more. Rushmore Show kicking down the door, ranking the icons, the greats we adore. It's all about your top four, nothing more. Nothing more.
This is the Rushmore Show, where it's all about your top four and nothing more. Andy, I'm just sorting up my games. Got a sleepover happening tonight, and got to get them ready. We're gonna have some games tonight. You excited?
Yes, absolutely. I'm excited to talk about sleepovers. This feels like a lost thing.
Hey, so Andy, yeah, it is a lost thing. My kids do not sleep out. I would let them. I'm not that guy, but they don't, and nobody sleeps over here either because other parents don't do it. I just don't. So yeah, I get it. But Andy, I see some stubble growing back. But you have some things coming up.
Yeah.
All in for Argentina.
Yes.
You just got a huge smackdown on that. So you've got some gross drinking smoothies coming up. You've got two other things too. What's the other two?
Yeah, so I'm going to do the gross smoothie challenge probably tomorrow if I have time. If not, it'll be maybe this week. Maybe I'll do it at RetroCon. That would be fun.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
But I don't have like a blender. I don't know how I'm going to make a smoothie work. Anyway,
hey, let's say hello to some friends.
It's happening.
Jake was in here earlier. He dropped that chat in this morning. Jake says drops a fantastic top four already. We're going to probably talk about a few of those. And B2 is in the house. What's up, B2? Girl Dad, let's go. Copper Coin Games in the house. B2 again. My man Matt, Dusty Flotilla. Crazy Lady B, what's up? Bethany in the house over on the Twitch side. And B2, what's up? Nightbot, there it is. Nightbot saying hello. So with that being said,
I have the gross smoothie that's happening. Yeah. The next one is I have to wear a costume for an entire day, running errands just around town.
The costume?
Well, I talked to a lady at our church who does theater, and she has a Mario costume, and I thought that would be really cool. Now I can't wear it at RetroCon because that's like cosplaying, right? So that's cheating. I feel like I'm gonna need to wear it when I need to like go to the bank or the grocery store or something. So we'll do that, and then I have to do a 2-hour walk, which seems like I should have put that way before the Ghost Pepper challenge.
PCG in the house.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of
wishes, Rushmore boys. Man, that's a different kind of welcome. Does that mean you're not hanging out with us, PCG? If you're not, that's cool. But we love you, man, and thanks for being here.
And last thing I'll say about that is I'm right now $143 away from being 100% funded for Argentina.
143. Remember back in the day with the beepers?
143. We're talking nostalgia.
I love you, man.
Yes, I love you, right? So
yeah. All right.
But I'm 143, and my last challenge when I hit my total is I have to do an ice bath interview about Argentina. So that'll be fun.
I am excited about that. Make sure we're filming all these.
You'll
see some shorts on the channel. A couple things, Andy. Midnight tonight, I officially am done with my masters.
Come on now.
Let's do it. Also, midnight tomorrow, we'll have a sleepover at your house because it's Louisiana RetroCon, and we're going to talk about it. I'm flying down tomorrow this weekend. We're going to talk about that at halftime. Don't go nowhere. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about what we're doing. Also, dude, I have some huge news. Guys, hang around till halftime. I've got some of the biggest news I think we've ever gotten. Andy, I shot it to you. But, man, if it goes through like I think it is, big deal. Big deal. Yeah. Hey, Isaac is in the house. Isaac, we always love when you hang out. Hope you're doing well. Can we connect, Isaac? Let's chat. Back in the day, you were going to come on, and then there were some things happening. I just want to make sure you're okay, man. We miss you, and we love you being around. So with that being said, 10 people in the chat before they run away and go to dinner. Let's get our boys out here, our guests for the night. A sleepover isn't fun without bringing on some friends. Andy, are you ready?
I am super stoked.
Yeah, I'm super stoked about this. there's going to be a lot of nostalgia talking about tonight, and I'm excited. Andy, talk while I stall. Eric, I'm there.
It'll all be
Sleepover games. Let's get it. Hello, welcome back. 11 people now. Like one more person jumped on in. I don't know who it is, but hello. I'm not looking at the comments if you said so. Oh yeah, by the way, Dusty, you are all you guys have wrenches for a reason. That's so that you can drop your chat and drop your channel. So drop your channels in the chat. You guys are all a part of this community. Thanks for being a part of the Summit Squad. Andy, let's get into this. You know I'm always looking for new creators, at least to our show, to introduce to our fam. And just like us, we started somewhere, right? And I was so welcomed when somebody invited us. So I'm always looking on Instagram for people that are like-minded in the same kind of worlds, or wherever. And either these guys followed us, we followed them, however it happened, or we followed kind of a, somebody that we both follow type thing.
Mutual.
Mutual. Thank you.
Mutual.
Liberty Mutual. I was there we go. So mutual friend, probably of some sort, and I was like, man, this is a cool little show. So I just shot him a little message, said, hey guys, love your show, like what you're doing, and we do something similar. Would you like to join us? And they agreed. And that was like 2 months ago. So I'm glad they didn't we don't like you guys anymore after 2 months, and they still want to come to our sleepover tonight. So with that being said, top 4 sleepover games with our guys over at Nerd Cave Retro. Welcome on our friends Jay and Derek to the show. Let's get it.
What is up, fellas?
Hello.
Greetings, programs. Welcome to the Nerd Cave Retro Show. Oh, wait, wrong show, guys.
Crossing the streams.
Yeah.
Never cross streams, especially at a party or a sleepover.
If they ask you if you're a god, you say yes.
Yes.
All right. So now we're all on the same page. Say hello to our friends Jay and Derek, and let our guys know, all 9s of them right now. But by the way, our record is 42, and that was a really awesome show. So you guys go message your friends and tell them to come visit our cool buddies tonight. So Derek and Jay. Jay, you're going to go first tonight. So tell everybody about Nerd Cave Retro, why you picked Derek to join you or vice versa, why sleepover games, what do you guys got going on over there? And then we'll let Derek kind of jump in and chat about his stuff too.
Well, me and Derek started the show in 2016. I was around that time I started getting back into retro gaming, because I pulled my old Nintendo and SNES out and started playing. I was like, I really like this. So I started, buying games at the flea markets and everything. And I started looking around for retro gaming podcasts. And at the time, there wasn't very many. So I was like, well, if there aren't any, then I guess we need to do it. So I'd known Derek from different podcasting projects and everything. We had done some stuff before, and I knew he was into the Super Nintendo and everything. So I asked him if he wanted to do a retro gaming show with me, and he said yes. And we were only supposed to do seasonally, like 6 episodes at a time, a couple times a year, but it instantly took off, because I had done podcasts before, and as you guys probably know, it takes a lot to get people to listen to a podcast. But when it comes to something very niche like retro gaming, it's not hard to get an audience, especially when they're at the time there wasn't very many shows out there. So we're creeping up on what, Derek, like episode 400 here in the next year or so, and we've been doing it every week for almost, next year's going to be our 10-year anniversary. So
nice.
If you guys want to go check us out, it's at Nerd Cave Retro pretty much everywhere. nerdcaveretro.com. That's the link tree. That'll take you everywhere you need to go for the show.
That's awesome. I love
That is fantastic. And Derek, add to that little spiel and there's another word, Andy. Spiel.
We've been collecting words, guys. Just so you know,
collecting words that just don't come up all the time. Anyways, American colloquialism. Derek, drop your. Oh yeah. So from one Derek to another, different spelling. It looks like. Poetically Christian Gamer is also a Derek. He says, two of us don't make it right. So, by the way, PCG is legally blind, and his wife is battling cancer, and he does a Christian gaming channel from a legally blind perspective.
Wow. Oh, wow.
So Derek, tell us all about your channels, your space, and anything you can add to the Nerd Cave Retro.
Yeah, so to kind of go off on what Jason was saying, he and I were doing separate shows at the time, and we would do collaborations every now and then, and we kind of had the same role on our respective shows. Like, we do the planning, we do the editing, so we kind of hit it off based off of that. And I had started doing an interview-based show around that same time, and he was one of my first guests. And we just kept talking from there, and then he got me into collecting retro games, specifically the Super Nintendo, because that was the console I really grew up on. And it was, when he asked me, it was a no-brainer. And I think we're around 430 episodes.
Yeah, just look, that Terra Enigma one that I was listening to is 428.
I lose count at this point.
Yeah,
we've been,
and
you guys know how it is.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
We kind of stopped doing the number like 1 to 1,000 type number, and we started going to season. So like season 4 episode whatever. And so this is this is season 4 episode 30. So if you multiply that, 52, 100, I don't know, quite a bit. It's quite we're up there too. Not nearly as that, but anyways, welcome to the show. Welcome, guys. Isaac just added Weekly Warp Pipe. They will be on next week. Isaac, Weekly Warp Pipe guys. That podcast is one of my favorite podcasts, and the whole gang is going to be here. Bring your popcorn for that one. We are definitely going to have fun with that. So let's get into this thing. So we always let our guest pick, and it's just been a thing that we've done probably for the last 2.5 years of this thing. It's just like, as long as they don't pick something that is just way off topic, way off base, we could probably figure out a list, even if we don't have much to say, right? Andy is a drummer, by the way, Jay. I saw that you're a drummer. I'm not a drummer,
Nice.
but I can speak on drummers, right? And so not nearly at the level Andy can. So we can kind of figure it out and use our stuff. So we let you guys pick, and you threw out Sleepover games, which is like, yes, we haven't done this yet. Nostalgia. It fits right into the niche of childhood. So why don't you guys pick that? And Jay, you're going to go first. So you can tell us kind of why you thought maybe, I think you were even the one that maybe chose it. And then tell us your criteria today. Our first one is Rosie. So number 4. So before you do that, let us know why Sleepover games and what you were thinking when you picked.
Well, Sleepover games is one of those things, like, I'm pretty old. I'm creeping up on 50. And, back in the 80s and 90s, sleepovers were just, it's what you did every weekend. You were either at a friend's house or a friend was, staying with you. And what you did was stay up all night playing video games and eating junk food and drinking Mountain Dew and just doing what, everything that your young body can handle with on no sleep. So there's a lot of nostalgia connected to Sleepover games. So that just seemed like a no-brainer.
I really love the pick. So give us kind of what you were thinking when you kind of zoned into your top 4, and then tell us what number 4 is.
Well, really, it just specific memories of the ones that I picked, because this was not a hard list to make. Like the 4 that I picked for my main ones are like instant memories of sleepovers. And my number 4, the very first one at my number 4 spot is Excite Bike.
I love that.
Whoa.
And I remember specifically staying at my friend Joey's house. I think we were in probably 4th grade. and I did not have a Nintendo, but he did. So I spent a lot of time at his house because he was within walking distance of my house. So I would stay over there a lot. And I just specifically remember we would stay up so late at night building tracks, because it was the first game really where you could create your own track and then try to just make it as ridiculous as you could so that your friend couldn't even get through it.
Yeah. I love this.
Excite Bike is such a great.
So we have tossed around the idea of doing box art, Rushmore, and Excite Bike is one of the ones that immediately when you mention it, you see the pixel. That is just an iconic one. But the game itself, and you touched on it, the customization, like this was total. Like I'm a programmer now. Like what's happening? You know what I mean? Like. And I like how a lot of those games in that kind of genre have carried that on too. I'm a 64 guy. Excite Bike 64 is a fun one.
Oh yeah.
May not be your sleepover time, but again, it was a great series of games. But yeah, this is a fantastic game. Love this pick.
Yeah, so good. Hey, if you guys are jumping in here, say hello. Derek, you like Excite Bike at all?
Oh yeah, I don't have as many memories as playing Excite Bike, but it is something that I played once I got a little bit older, because my experience with the NES growing up was a little limited, but I have gone back and played it since, probably not too long after we started doing Nerd Cave Retro, and I see what all the hype was about it. It was so fun.
It is a very fun game. What I love about it, it's simple. Even the building the tracks is not super complicated. My memory with this is not even on Nintendo though. My memory on this, and Andy, right by your house is the lone skating rink in our hometown, and we used to have skate night at the skating rink, and at that skating rink, the elementary schools would show up on like a Thursday night, and it would be packed with your school, and they had about 15 cabinets in there, and Excite Bike always had a crowd, and that's where I played it. I never owned Excite Bike for my Nintendo, but I played the heck out of it, dumping some quarters. I even almost mentioned it in the arcade cabinet section. This would be fun to have for sure. I love anything that you build something like your own. So good pick. That's a heck of a start, Andy. We're
exciting start. Love it. Love it.
I'm excited about excitement.
Yeah.
Welcome to the dad jokes, Derek. So, Derek, you're up. Now, what were you thinking when you were curating the list? It sounds like you're more later in the video game realm. Super Nintendo's your jam. So, tell us about what you were thinking, and then you can give us your number 4.
Yeah, so when I was coming up with my list, kind of what like Jason was saying, I was instantly thinking of memories with friends, staying up all night playing whatever was the popular thing at the time or whatever somebody else would bring over, eating bags and bags of Doritos, drinking like 12 packs of Mountain Dew. Pretty sure my kidneys still hate me to this day because of how many Mountain Dews that I drank. So
hopped up on Mountain Dew.
Absolutely, yeah. And funny enough, even though I primarily grew up with the Super Nintendo, all my choices are 64 and later, because I didn't really have too many sleepovers as a kid. Like I didn't get to hang out with friends much outside of school until I was old enough to drive. So a lot of mine are from like the late 90s through the 2000s. My number
brought up a good point. Hold on. Bring us back, Andy. Bring us back. So even that situation, Derek, just saying, you said I didn't have many sleepovers and most of my stuff was when I drove. I remember a lot of my sleepovers was like freshman, sophomore, junior year at my bud's house.
Oh yeah.
My high school kids are like, heck no. Heck no. I'm like, what? Like, it's such a missed art nowadays. Like everybody's so like,
I'm not a father. I don't have kids. So what happened to the sleepover? Like, why is that not a thing anymore?
Well, the internet happened.
Yeah,
I guess so.
Everybody.
Also, I'll say this. I think specifically on the video game side of things, you used to have to be together to multiplayer.
Oh yeah,
That's it.
True. Yeah.
Now everything is either online. It's something like that. I mean, there was like you had to go to your friend's house to play games together.
Yeah, but also too, there was a lot of sleepovers when I was a kid where we we wouldn't be playing games, but we would go adventuring in the woods or like
the point of the
that is a whole nother show.
Yeah.
Waiting till the lights come on, right? Before you came home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, Derek, sorry to interrupt you. You are gonna nail us with some 64 on love. So tell us, where are you going with your rose?
So my number 4 is widely considered to be one of the more revolutionary games of the late 90s, GoldenEye. My number 4.
And the other Derek just mentioned that.
Oh, he did, yeah. So GoldenEye was one of those games that it walked so that games like Halo and Call of Duty could run.
Come on now.
When you think of first-person shooters from that time, you think of games for the PC. There wasn't really a great first-person shooter for the N64, and then GoldenEye came along. And reservations, at least I had reservations because most of the adapted games from like movies or TV shows weren't good. But GoldenEye was different. The campaign was pretty much like the movie, but it was still fun. But it was the multiplayer. And it was one of those things that you had to be a part of. And I can remember being at my friend Jonathan's house on Fridays or Saturday nights, and we'd get a few N64s together, and we just have a huge group of us playing GoldenEye until the sun came up.
I absolutely love this pick. Here we go, right there. There it is.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was a Benjamin of mine because I knew it was going to be talked about at some point. I wanted to go kind of a different route, but I 1000% am on board with you. Love this game. To your point, how it walks so the other ones can run. I find that it doesn't hold up as well today just because of what we're used to now, but it is still nostalgic enough to bring me back to play this game. The soundtrack is one of the best soundtracks.
The pause menu theme is so.
It's the best one that's there, right? It didn't have to be that good, but it is. Yeah, everything you said about this game, fantastic game. I love it.
So my experience with GoldenEye.
Talk about it.
My experience with I was going to go a different route. Into that. So
we always talk about the other route.
My experience with GoldenEye comes up quite a bit. So matter of fact, we do a thing called Rushmore Revisited. We did a 64 show real early on because that's Andy's favorite system. He did a Rushmore Revisited, and he actually, I think, took GoldenEye off, right, Andy? Did you not?
Only because it doesn't hold up after playing it.
Right. So it's not his top 4 game for him anymore. But long story short, I'm not a first-person shooter guy. I'm the guy that's kind of doing this number and people are like taking me out from behind or laughing at me. So Andy and I, what he was wanting me to talk about was Andy and I, we go to these conventions. He purchased a 64, got GoldenEye. We went home. That same GoldenEye he's got in his hand. One of the conventions, the one I'm coming to this weekend, is around the area that he lives. And no screen watching. And Andy and I played this like 1v1 type thing. And we played. Which one? The one where you're in the mountains? And I was literally
in the cave too, and it's dark.
I was literally trapped looking at rocks for like 15 minutes. I was like, bro, this sucks. I was better than this as a kid, but I've never been good at first-person shooters. But anyways, let me go back.
He was so bad that I switched to slaps only, and I beat him.
So, Andy, when I was in the Air Force, I was Air Force 98 to 2006. The guy, my best friend there, so it was kind of like a sleepover, but we lived in the dorms. He lived across. He had the 64. I had the PlayStation. I would go over to his house or his place, and we would play GoldenEye. So kind of a sleepover game, but we didn't sleep over. We were just hanging out till all hours of the night. So I agree. This is a great pick of that time frame. I'm just not a first-person guy. What's funny is, if you are a first-person guy and you watch that show, you said exactly what we said. this walk so everything can run. That whole
Literally,
that's what everybody says. That's what everybody says.
Well, and to Andy's point, I've played it recently and it doesn't hold up as well. But it's one of those games that you had to play it when it came out to really appreciate what it did for gaming.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure.
Our kids have no idea. Well, Jay, you say you don't have kids. Derek, do you have kids?
I do not.
Oh, so neither one of you guys have kids. So, but my kids, my kids have no idea what it's like. I mean, it's just like, yeah, it's so fun. So, all right, Andy. Oh no, I'm up. You're last.
Yep.
So here's my criteria today. I have a distinct, specific memory, some kind of nostalgia of all these games with someone specific. I had a ton of sleepovers, usually the same couple kids. If somebody came and slept over once, not a big deal. But these are all kids that probably either I slept at their house or they slept at my house quite a bit. And like, what were the games that we were playing? And I literally have all 4 of them. Well, I have 3 of the 4, but one of them kind of here right now with me. And so my first one, Andy, you are not going to be surprised about probably any of my games today. Because also some games you play together, 1v1. Some of you play together, you two versus the world. Others, your friend plays, you sit and watch, or vice versa. I play, you sit and watch. And I'm a role playing game guy. And early on, we played a lot of role playing games. And I had a really good friend, Chris Miller. He would come over to the house just to watch me, and vice versa, me watch him play our campaign. And Andy, can you say it?
Gauntlet Legends.
No, Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy. Now, this is not a one-player game. It's a very long game. My name inscribed right there on it, as I always say. I've got all the stuff except the box that's tore up for this thing.
Triangle colored in.
Yeah, but Chris was a dear friend of mine. I slept at his house. He slept at mine. And I would always bring this in tow and be like, all right, let's finish our campaign until we beat it. And then he would start a different one with 4 different characters. Odds on Kirk has a Zelda, a Final Fantasy game on his list. You are right off the bat. And I don't have another. I don't think
Zelda's gonna wind up on your list.
Zelda's not gonna be on my list today.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
So, but this is on there. Unfortunately, Chris has passed away, tragically, actually, in our hometown. And one of my fond memories is, honestly, one of the main reasons I love Final Fantasy is playing that game with him and going through different campaigns. So that's going to be my first one today.
First pick of the day that I don't like for the reasons of the RPG nature.
Andy is not an RPG guy. Are you guys RPG guys at all?
Well, me and Derek have a running joke on the show about Final Fantasy and the numbering system of Final Fantasy games. So it's like that, whatever Final Fantasy 1 in America was, it was 3 in Japan, 12.4 in Europe, and it was like 18.7 part 2 in China. So like we can't follow Final Fantasy at all.
I did play Final Fantasy Mystic Quest back in the day.
Oh,
that's really been the only Final Fantasy game I've played.
So yeah, I'm a huge role playing game. Final Fantasy is my favorite, mainly because of the start with this, but plenty of the other ones later. But
I can tell you that I was not gonna go spend the night at a friend's house for a second time if it was, hey, come watch me play an RPG. I'm just like, for me personally, I just wasn't.
I can tell you this: you don't like them, yeah, but like for that. He would be playing and I would be like navigating, telling the tips, or vice versa.
Yeah, if that's what you like. I'm just saying.
It's kind of like playing Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, it's kind of the similar idea.
I guess it's one of those things you would have to start the game together.
Yeah.
And go through it. You can't just pop in like 4 hours in and be like, oh, I'm going to watch you play this. Like, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let me recap the game as I play.
Yeah.
Number 1. Oh, I'm showing off. Derek's like, which game? And I'm like showing it to him. He's legally blind. Can you see this one, Derek? Derek, it's the original.
I can't even see it when you're waving it like that. So there you go.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you're legally
Well,
blind too.
Yeah, well, yeah. No, I knew this. I knew you'd have this pick probably somewhere there, and I kind of jokingly said Gauntlet Legends because in 60.
Well, Gauntlet Legends is a fantastic game.
Yeah, good stuff.
All right,
Good
well,
stuff.
Andy, you were up.
Yep. My criteria. I mean, I'm not really doing anything.
Kind of the same, huh?
Kind of the same. I have memories of these games specifically. Doing these with specific friends, playing games, going to their house, them come to my house, things like that. So as a kid born in 89, 90s, 2000s, that was my realm of when I was really into the video games. So with that said, my Rosie might actually surprise you a little bit, but we have a buddy on the show, Justin Toops. Justin Toops was my neighbor. So I used to go over to his house quite often and vice versa as well, right? So there's going to be some of that talk in here. But this one, believe it or not, was actually – so he had systems, and then he has a younger brother, Raymond, who hasn't been on the show in the chat or anything, but go over to their house. And I remember so often, not only at sleepovers, just in person, but definitely at sleepovers too, we would go fire up the Xbox and we would throw on possibly the GOAT, Halo. Halo is my, I know, and at the Rosie only because Xbox wasn't my realm. And like, really, I was playing games over there. Like I didn't have an Xbox. I didn't have that. Yeah, there you go. Halo multiplayer. Right. But playing this game, one of the greatest multiplayer games, fantastic. We talked about GoldenEye, 007, Walking. So games like Halo and these other games could be the games that they eventually became. But dude, I remember the multiplayer in this game, just having so much fun with this. And again, it was at the time. So it's like early kind of mid 2000s ish time, whatever year that was that it was out. And I remember like the scenery and the worlds that were there. You were like, well, how did they do this? This is just, it seems like so expansive and so not, whatever. But and now it's just even more. But even at the time, it was like finding all of those areas to like strategically like snipe people out or just do, man, super, super fun. Love the graphics of the game. Love the gameplay. Loved how kind of smooth the gameplay was. And again, I haven't gone back and played Halo, so this may be another game, like especially the original, that maybe doesn't hold up quite as well based on, relative to how things are now. But man, a lot of memories going over to their house, playing Halo all night. The opening scene, the opening, it's just one of those classics. So I'm going to go Halo to start off my list here. And Master Chief, probably one of the more iconic of all of the video game characters that are out.
For sure.
Absolute icon.
Rated M for mature.
I remember when you get the sword. What's the sword?
The energy sword?
Yeah.
Was it just energy? Yeah, it's like one shot, one kill kind of deal. Yeah, it was so good. I love that game.
2002's game.
Yeah, early 2000s. So that's what I'm saying. I'm 89, so 2002. What am I? However old that is. I can't do math right now. 13. So that's perfect.
So yeah, I would love if I was a teenager in 2002 to go hang out with my teenager friends and play this.
I was in my 20s and still hanging out with all my friends playing Halo.
So I wasn't an Xbox guy. I didn't get that until after I got back from Iraq, which would have been 23. And people were really good at this first-person shooter, third-person shooters, all these. And I was terrible again. But I bought it, and that's my copy from 2002 or whatever. Also,
side note, let me just say this too. I may be playing the crowd a little bit today.
Yeah, you're playing the crowd.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to get some.
Oh, by the way, guys, there's going to be a poll on our Instagram.
Yeah.
And we're going to see who wins today. Hey, look, I
PCG,
even got the
I'm going for
paper
your
so you don't steal it. Got a little sticker so you don't steal it in here.
Wow.
I don't know where I got it from, but I guess I don't know. Whatever. All right, so first round, Halo. Let's see, Halo, Final Fantasy, Excite Bike, and
GoldenEye. That's a fantastic round one.
That's a good start for 4 different types of games. That's awesome. All right, so Derek, no, sorry, not Derek. Jay, you were first. Jay, you're up. We call him TJ Jazzy Jeff. Fun name for Thomas Jefferson. Number 3 on the mountain. You don't need to do any criteria now. You could just jump on in.
All right, my number 3 is something I talked about. Actually, I did a review of this game a couple of weeks ago on the show. I had very specific memories of this game. It's RBI baseball for the NES.
Nice.
And I remember my friend Daryl had come over, and he got to stay the whole weekend. I think it was the first, right after 5th grade ended, like that weekend, he got to come over and stay the whole weekend. And we skateboarded and played RBI baseball, and we ate a lot of chips, a lot of Doritos, and drank a lot of Coca-Cola and Mountain Dew that whole weekend.
All hopped up on Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
All right, there it is. There it is.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it.
So, Derek, you play RBI?
I have a little bit.
You're not a Nintendo guy, so you're not as old as us. We're us bald guys. You know. Oh, Andy, you're bald too. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, come on now.
I'm getting there. I'll be there in like 4 or 5 years. Yeah, I played a little bit of RBI baseball. It's funny because the week before he reviewed RBI baseball, I had reviewed Backyard Baseball, which originally came out in 1997, but was re-released for the
Pablo,
the Switch.
baby.
I found a Pablo Sanchez shirt online, and I'm like, if I had the money, I would so get that thing.
We did fake
characters of all time.
Fake sports characters for a short, and Pablo Sanchez came.
Pablo Sanchez is probably you got like your Mike Vick from Madden 2004, and Pablo Sanchez is right up
Bo
there.
Jackson from Tecmo.
Bo Jackson, Tecmo.
The first game I played in Backyard Baseball, I had the bases loaded in the 3rd inning. Pablo Sanchez comes up to bat, and I hit it right over the fence for a grand slam.
It's just poetic at that point.
It felt unfair, honestly, but it was fun.
Andy, you're not old enough to play this game. Have you played RBI?
No, I'm looking it up right now, and it looks. I like the simplicity of the graphics.
There's a big word for you. It's antiquated.
There's a word. I love
There's
that.
a word.
Yeah, but for as simple as it was, I mean, literally, it was a 1-button game. That's all you needed.
That's a good
but
thing.
they perfected it for how simple of a game it is.
I purchased this game for one reason only. Okay, when and I got this late in my gamer life considerably. My best friends. This is probably right before I went to the Air Force. My best friends were going to school at LSU, and when I would go down to visit in the dorm room at LSU, kind of just like you, sleepover game type thing, they had a tournament, and they were keeping it back in the day. You know, this is before the internet and all this. They had like a composition notebook with like brackets of who won who and how many games they won, what the score was. And I showed up and I came to play, right? Well, I didn't come to play, but I joined in. And I had such a blast with this tournament. I like went on eBay or whatever and immediately purchased it. And that's why I got this copy, so I could practice the next time I went down. But yeah, it wasn't a really sleepover game for me. Then it was an honorable mention today. I will say that. It was on my list as honorable mention. And I wasn't really going to mention it. And I'm up, right? No, I'm not up.
No,
Derek's up.
Not quite.
I'm not going to mention it because I'll tell you in a minute why. Derek, you're up.
Okay, so we all know about Mario Kart. Love the Super Nintendo game. It was revolutionary. And I want to say, first of all, a shout out to Jake Sasser, whose message you played earlier. He's a good friend of mine. I have a group chat with him, and I had to ask him, like, hey, I'm doing this podcast tonight. Make sure I don't forget anything, because I'm basing my criteria off of memories. So my number 3 is Mario Kart Double Dash for the GameCube.
Nice.
It added a fun dynamic where you had 2 people per kart. So you could do like a tag team. Like me and a friend could be on one kart, one drives, the other throws the weapons. And we would be at our mutual friend Jamie's house. And again, we'd lose track of time just playing over and over and over again. going through all the different cups, doing multiplayer. And it's a concept that I wish Nintendo would revisit at some point with Mario Kart, because that game is really underrated.
Yeah, this is a good. Well, where am I at? Where am I at? What's happening? There we go. Good. Yeah, there you go. Double Dash. GameCube, fantastic pick. I do love.
This was actually, believe it or not, my very first Mario Kart game that I ever owned.
You got another Mario Kart.
I bought the GameCube, the Xbox. I bought the GameCube, the Xbox, and a ton of games at the very same time when I was in Iraq. And when I got home, this was one of the games and consoles waiting that my sister put in my house for me. And so I was sitting over there just ordering stuff while I was waiting. But I got the Super Mario Kart playing behind me. That's the one I ended up chosen. That's not how you use that word, but I am from Louisiana, so forgive me. That's the one I chose to pick to kind of show off today. But Mario Kart I knew was going to get mentioned, and I didn't even pull this out because I figured a couple other Mario Karts would be mentioned. I'm like, I'm not going to just double down on that. But yeah, it was right over there. Good pick.
Yeah, this is good stuff. Definitely love the Mario Kart franchise. Fantastic stuff there. Double Dash threw in something new and unique, like you said, very cool. And I think it goes well to tonight's theme of Sleepover. Of course, there's been multiplayer on Mario Kart prior to this, but it just changes things up a little bit there. So more kind of co-op, right? So it's good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So my turn. All right.
Yes.
My TJ Jazzy Jeff. Now, if you guys know Nintendo, whenever you see that little gold label in the back, right? Whenever you see the gold label in the back, that means it has a battery in it. And, you know, Zelda was the first one to kind of roll with that. But when you talk about baseball, this is the best baseball game I think has ever been made. My friend Nick lived down the street, and if you like Excite Bike and Jay and building tracks, that's what made this baseball so good. It was one of the first where you built your own team, and I'm going with Baseball Stars.
Oh yeah,
good pick.
And this game, you know, I would let my buddy. He would make his own team. I'd make my own team. If you went back a couple weeks ago, I talked about cheats. I was a master of cheating this game to get to the perfect team. The highest you can get was a 90 rating on your hitter, and the highest rating you could get on your pitcher, I think, was an 84 and 86. I would do all of them, and all my pitchers would max out the home runs before I maxed out their pitching because it would cheat the system. Yeah. Home run after home run, knowing how to steal bases. This game has hours on it. Hours and hours. And I bought this little system here to play old retro games for my son to do it. And 90% of the time, I find myself playing this and another couple games that I'm going to mention later. But I play this a lot on that little system. Baseball Stars, #1, and just a fantastic. The music is stuck in my head.
I feel like
that's a funny thing. Wait, real quick. The music, I played it so much, I had a parrot in the house. The parrot would hum this song. Dun, 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 and the parrot would do that. It was hilarious. Anyway,
that's funny. Yeah, I feel like we've talked about this game for like the last 4 weeks. I feel like it keeps getting brought up.
I've mentioned it 3 times over the last couple weeks.
Yeah, no, it's a great. I mean, I didn't play it growing up, but since we've talked about it a lot recently, I've been, I've looked it up a couple times. It looks like a super fun game.
It uses the same mechanic as RBI. The characters look a little better because RBI, they're kind of fat snowman looking guys. What I love about RBI is it had some licensing, so you had like Don Mattingly and Andre Dawson. This didn't have licensing. There's like an American Dream Team, and it's called like Babe and Lou and stuff like that. So it's like old baseball players. So you always could say it's like Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth and all them. But aside from that, there's nothing else. So you would make your own like Yankees team and LSU team and Red Sox team and whoever came over, But that was what made RBI really fun, is they had the licensing. So, anyways, that's my pick for my TJ Jazz.
You guys know this game? Derek, you know this one?
I know the name of it. I have never played it, I'll be perfectly honest, but when we were reviewing our baseball games a couple of weeks ago on the show, this was one that constantly came up in different lists as like the best baseball game, for the NES, or one of the best.
Yeah. This is
SNK, and it's just underrated. It was a lesser known game, and for a while it was the most expensive game in the catalog.
Really?
Not anymore. I remember like when retro games were $1. You know what I mean? Probably before Little Samson and all that came out, because that was in the late run of Nintendo. But this game would be hard to get under $100 back then. Now it's not like that. But I remember that was pre-internet going crazy with retro games on eBay and all that. So, all right, Andy, you're up, man.
Yeah. So continuing with my theme of having just specific memories of this, I think if you had a sleepover and you were of my age and generation, and this has continued, I think if you still to this day, I know we talked about sleepovers don't happen as much, but if you do have one and this game is not on a constant rotation, whether it's this specific one or within this just series of games, you're not doing it correctly. And I'm going to go Super Smash Bros.
This is a great pick.
This game.
Great pick.
Here is some of the absolute most fun you'll ever have. We were so used to playing all of these Nintendo games, and some of them are fighting games, but we never had Mario getting to fight Link, right? Or fighting a Pokemon. Like, it was totally like a, oh my gosh, this just makes so much sense game, and super crazy fun, man. Obviously, so I'm throwing up the one here in 64.
ECG, there's your fighting game.
You've had the Melees, you've had all the different ones, and everything that's come out and continue to come out, and it's just super fun. Back then, we could pick. It's funny. So I brought my N64 to my youth group over the last several weeks. So we've been playing a little Super Smash Bros. And I destroy them every time because it's the N64, it's the controller. I think that's mainly what it is. I guarantee you, if we put on Super Smash Bros. Like the new stuff, I wouldn't even know what I'm doing, right? We could pick like 8 characters. I think it was 10 characters, something like that. Now it's like 37 characters you can choose between. It's crazy. But it's a super fun game. I mean, a fighting game is fun. It screams competition, having fun with your friends, sleepover. These things don't take forever.
Oh!
You can go through these a ton, like quickly. There you go. What's up, saying 1,000?
Wow, welcome back, man. Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm excited that you're here. But yeah, Super Smash. That's where I'm going to go. The other thing is we had youth camp this summer, and one of the coolest things that happened at youth camp is we always have competitions. So they'll do like dodgeball, carpet ball, gaga ball, basketball tournaments, all these different tournaments and stuff. This year, they added a Super Smash Bros. Tournament to it. And all week it was happening in kind of this small room, but the finale, the championship, was on the big screen in the sanctuary at church, and it was one kid versus another. Getting to watch Super Smash Bros. On a mega giant screen in front of hundreds of students. I mean, it was the coolest thing. But yeah, Super Smash Bros. Had to pick it. I wanted it to be higher, but my other two are going to make some sense. This was a game, again, because 64, this was a game that was at my house that we were playing. I think everybody had it, right? So it didn't matter where you went.
Well, not only that, but it is absolutely one of the best video game commercials ever made.
I was just about to bring that up.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Hey, so I never had a 64.
I want to say
I never
this.
had a 64. So as soon as I got my Wii, I got this version, Super Smash Brawl.
Yeah.
This one also had like the campaign along with it. I enjoyed this game quite a bit. Loved playing with my kids with this one. But the same guy, when I was in the Air Force stationed in New Mexico, who had GoldenEye, had Smash, had Gauntlet Legends that you mentioned earlier, Andy, because that's a common theme for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good.
Question that I'll ask you guys. Now, again, going off of like maybe some OG picks, who are we going with? Who are you picking in Super Smash Bros? Link's a great pick. I was Samus. I like Samus, but that kind of deal.
I was always a Link fan.
Great pick.
I pick Link in anything I can pick him in.
I beat one of our students, and this is just how bad I felt bad after this. I was Jigglypuff, and I beat.
Oh no!
I don't even. Like, Jigglypuff has like one move. Like there's nothing to do with Jigglypuff.
What's the guy the stick man that is like from the Game and Watch?
Mr. Game and Watch.
Mr. Game and Watch. Yeah. What does he do? Ice climbers. You want to be the ice climbers?
Yeah.
And, anyway.
All right, man. So that's the first half of our mountains. Man, we're making good time. 50 minutes. That's way ahead of normal. So here we go. Let's do our commercials real quick. And Scion, this one was mentioned earlier. Thanks for jumping in. GoldenEye was mentioned earlier too. Yeah. And so let's do some commercials. So Andy and I, very first thing, let's just get it out the way. I am rocking. Whoop, I moved over. I moved this way. I am rocking the Louisiana RetroCon shirt. This one is from 3 RetroCons ago. That one's from 4 RetroCons ago. We are part of the Louisiana RetroCon team. Davey Lusco and his fam. We love those guys. We are the MCs, and we're going to be by what's his name? Geekster the Nerd. We're going to be hanging out with him this week.
We have neighbors this time.
We have neighbors. So we usually kind of do the interviews. We kind of interview the guests. They have a whole bunch of Mario voices this week. But it is Saturday and Sunday at the Lamar Dixon in Gonzales, Louisiana. That's right outside of Baton Rouge. If you're in the area, come on down. It is a great show. It's all day Saturday, all day Sunday. If you come on Sunday, we do a little thing called Nerd in the Word. And the comments over there are kind of over it right now, but that is called Reboot the Unconventional Ministry. And since it's a Mario themed, I have a Mario themed message to drop Sunday at Nerd Church in the Lamar Dixon area. I'm going to do one for all of the vendors. And then when the doors open, I'll do another one for anybody that wants to come and sit down and hang out. We'll have giveaways. We'll have spin the wheel. We'll have all kinds of stuff. Be there this year, Louisiana RetroCon. They're celebrating the 40th anniversary of Mario. That's what they're doing. So this weekend, Andy, do you want to drop either our friends at Culture Box or our coffee now?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me get to our Culture Box friends here. All right. I think let's give a shout out to Dallas and Celeste over at Geek.
Let's do it.
Geek Devotions is a collaboration of devoted geeks that are devoted to letting people know that they are loved. They produce a weekly geek culture infused devotional, their podcast content, and written articles, all designed to encourage and challenge people in the geek community, bridging the gap between their faith and their geekdoms. Find all their content at geekdevotions.com.
There you go. Go check out Dallas and Celeste. Good friends. Good friends.
Good thing you mentioned that. So a couple opportunities coming up. Andy, we have to make a decision on if we can go or not pretty soon. So a couple things that I want to share with you guys. This is the first time you guys are going to hear Matt, Dusty, Flotilla in the house. I wish Bryce was here, honestly. So this weekend, last weekend, I went to Siege, Southeast Gaming Exchange in Greenville, South Carolina. Connected with a lot of people, and a lot of those guys are going to be on the show in January and February. Guys like Max, Monato Max, a lot of guys like Nintendo. She's going to be on. Gamer Aimer's going to be on. A ton of people are coming to hang out. And my favorite, the curator, we said that word earlier, the director, the owner, the whatever of proprietor of Southeast Gaming Exchange, Austin Bell is going to be on our show. Not only is he going to be on our show, he's coming on in January. He already has picked his topic, Andy, and he has asked us to not only come and be a part of the show and have a booth if we want one, but get to preach on Sunday. To that, they had almost 10,000 people there this year. That is it's going to be the biggest con we'll ever be a part of. We are so overwhelmed and excited. Another thing is Geek Devotions, the guys we just dropped. The reason that we do these conventions is they're our inspiration. little Chicago I want to jump into right there, but they're our inspiration, and
You're the meaning in
there you go. So they started Geek Devotions because of a time on their heart being at a convention that there were some Christians outside really being loud and obnoxious, those type of guys, like not like us. And with that being said, he started going to a convention called GeekCon in Shreveport. And 2 weekends ago, we were invited to be a part of GeekCon for free, which is at the end of August. And Andy, we got to make a decision on that one if we're going to roll. I talked to the guy, and he is like, dude, y'all can have everything, whatever you want. Come on down. And so, bro, I am super stoked to get there to go hang out with Dallas. And maybe even stay at Dallas's place, Ben's place, get our own place, whatever it is. But that's at the end of August. I don't know if we're going to be able to make that happen. It's really busy, but we got to talk about it this weekend, Andy, probably. The next thing that we need to share really quickly is a coffee. Share a coffee.
Yeah. If you guys love coffee, you're going to want to check out the official coffee of the Rushmore Show, Village Coffee. Check it out.
Let's face it, at-home coffee can be pretty stale. Coffee at home doesn't have to be boring. The Village Coffee is here to deliver the flavor. The Village Coffee roasts coffee every week and sells online. Go to villagebeans.com to order your coffee today and use discount code Rushmore for free shipping.
There we go. We love coffee here.
We do love coffee, and we love the owner of that coffee. He's a good buddy of ours. He was one of our first guests ever on the channel. Actually, for my drum guys out there, he was our guest for drums.
Yeah. Hey, when you come in tomorrow, or to whatever day that is,
Yeah,
tomorrow night, I've got a fresh batch of Brazil and Mexico here.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's
you got
the good stuff. All right. Last thing, and then we're going to get back in this thing going. We want to honor some of our members. If you're a member of the channel, thank you. There's so many of you guys now. If you are at the George level, you get an amazing thing for your channel. And this is for one of our friends.
Zach, the Iowa Retro Gamer Dad, brings heart, honesty, and heat to retro gaming, collecting, and pack ripping with his son. From tackling addiction and mental health to calling out scalpers and celebrating nostalgia, this channel is where real talk meets real fun. Follow the journey at youtube.com/@Iowa Retro Gamer Dad. And also follow along on Instagram and Twitch.
And so thanks, Zach, for being here. We got so many guys. Thank you, all of the people that are joining in. The last thing I'm going to share, and we'll jump back in, is next week we are having our buds from the Warp Pipe, Weekly Warp Pipe. We're going to have Russ Lyman. We're going to have Retro Kart Collector and David Apuzzo from Weekly Warp Pipe and Russ Lee and all those channels, the Retro Kart Collector, bunch of different awesome video game channels. If you love video games, come join us next week. Now, let's get back into this. Our next person up, starting back over with you, Jay. This is Link. Here's a softball. There's a softball toss. Any Zelda out there? This is probably where you want to throw him. Link for Lincoln. What's your number 2 on the mound?
Well, my number 2 is, of course, one of the probably top 5 greatest NES games of all time.
Okay.
My specific memory of this is in 4th grade. Before I had my own NES, I stayed at my friend Brian's house over the weekend, and he had this game. We played this all weekend. And this was also one of those we talked about earlier where we played some NES, and then his parents were kind of well off, so he had a 4-wheeler, and we went off into the woods a lot on his 4-wheeler.
Nice.
That weekend. And but yeah, we played a lot of this game, and I think you'll agree, one of the greatest NES games ever made, Contra.
Nice. There you go. I love that.
Nice.
I knew this would be on your list.
Oh yeah, it has to be.
This I think to you the same kind of point that I made to your first pick when we talk about box art for video games.
Yeah,
this is Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone right there on there, huh? Yeah.
There's Schwarzenegger
and Sly.
Rambo and Predator.
Well, not only that, but a xenomorph in the background too of the picture.
Crossing all the streams.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to shamelessly plug this. Andy, since I have finished my master's, I am now diligently working on our first devotional. And we're going to drop a devotional for video games, daily devotional for anybody that wants to do that. And my first one is on cheat codes. And there's none bigger than the Konami code. So come and check out the devotional. But we talked a couple weeks ago, the same one I talked about baseball stars, about cheat codes, and we all knew everybody's going to say Konami code. Contra is such an amazing game. I played it for that show just to do the code and see if it still worked. It does. And man, it's such a fun game. They don't make games like that anymore where you can just kind of jump in, have a blast, unplug, get away from it, and walk away. Everything is so. And I like role-playing games, but even the non-role-playing games, you're playing football, it's like a role-playing game now. Like, everything is so in-depth and so, like, you got to do this and that. That game, it's like, hit go. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm dead. I'm not playing. No.
You need the code.
Oh, you have to have
successful in that game.
It's not as hard as I remember. It's a hard game.
Well, the thing is, it is actually, if you don't put in the Konami code, it's one of the hardest games you'll ever play. But if you put in the Konami code, it quickly becomes one of the easiest games you've ever played.
Yeah,
so,
true.
What I'm saying is, it's not like bullet hell or anything. It's like the big problem is one-shot kills, right? And so you make a bunch of mistakes, you're still learning. But, I mean, you can be a really good gamer and avoid a lot of that, but you probably still won't beat it very often unless you are just playing it every night.
Yeah.
Even when we were kids, we did that. But the Konami code, you had to have it.
Hey, Dark Link Raid is in the house. Look at this. Look at this going on.
Look at this. Oh, we should have done Dark Links tonight. Dark Link also has one of our membership things.
Hey, I saw your comment, Jay, real quick.
Welcome back in.
So it's a missed opportunity that they never made a Contra movie. Look, they can still do this. They still. I don't know if we want it now.
We talked about it a lot. Everybody talks about the Marvel, the cinematic universe. We need the video game cinematic universe, the Nintendo cinematic universe.
I tell you what, I think my favorite version of Arnold is old Arnold. That's my favorite version of Arnold.
We talk about old Arnold quite a bit. There was a time where we had January Manuary, and every January we did things like action heroes. And we talked about Arnold like every night.
Yeah,
we've toyed.
Welcome in.
We've toyed around with the idea of doing like a spin-off or like a one episode where we talk about like action movies called Man Cave Retro.
Yeah.
Hey, Quilt and Renee, I'm throwing you guys a wrench if you hang out for a little bit. Thank you. Welcome in. Welcome to the Summit Squad. Summit Squad is just what we call our friends here at the Rushmore Show. So this is for you.
Hey, I don't want to. Oh, go ahead.
All that means is we go through our top 4, and right now we're halfway through our top 4 of greatest sleepover games. And Jay just picked his second on his mountain, Contra. So now you're in it. Drop your top 4 in the chat of what were your favorite games to play when you went to sleepovers as a kid.
Yeah.
If you didn't have sleepovers as a kid, what's your favorite multiplayer games? Like games you'd play with friends.
I love this Dark Link Raid, but I don't want this comment to get buried because I think it's gold. Isaac just said a movie like that will be like Cena's current final WWE run. That is perfect.
That's quite accurate.
Yeah. That
is great. That is great.
Oh man.
All right. So Jay, great way to start the second half of the mountain. So we're gonna go to Derek now. Derek, you're at Link, your second favorite sleepover game. What you got?
So we were talking a few minutes ago about Super Smash Brothers and how it was a Nintendo fan's dream. Like, what if Mario fought Link? What if Fox fought Samus? It was such a fun game for the Nintendo 64, and one that I think is one of the more revolutionary games of that era. but there was a sequel for it that I think was better. And Super Smash Brothers Melee, aka Super Smash Brothers 2, is my number 2.
Great pick.
Good pick.
It is still used to this day in tournaments. It has the most solid gameplay out of any of the Smash Brothers games, including the newest one, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. You had a nice new addition of characters like Mewtwo, Ganondorf, Ice Climbers,
Dr. Mario,
Mr. Game & Watch. I think Zelda and Sheik were a combo character in that game. Just countless hours with different groups of friends. Because I had a group of friends that I would hang out with through high school, and then I had different friends after I graduated and kind of went to college. But this was a game that overlapped that. It's still one of the best fighting games of all time.
Yeah. And I will say too, it expanded on everything before, like you're saying. The Hyrule stage is still one of my favorite stages in any of the, like, going down.
Oh, the temple stage.
The temple, yeah, like
that's so good.
What a cool stage there. But yeah, this is
I just want to jump in and say this real quick. Cool Spot is so underrated. I talk about my buddy Kevin often. That was one of the games I had on the disc that we copied games with, and I played Cool Spot, and it's for a licensed licensed game. That is a fun game. Cool Spot. I had the Genesis version, I believe, maybe Super Nintendo. But anyways, good pick right there, Dark Link. But I just handed some wrenches out. So if you have a channel that we don't know, post it in the chat. Yeah. So Melee, great game. All the Smash Brother games are really fun, especially if a group of friends. If you have a favorite character, I love all of these. This is what makes Nintendo great. And a lot of people are hating on Nintendo right now. The reason they built such a fandom of them is great licenses of games, and then you join them together and things like this is just what put the the icing on the cake. Like, man, I'm a Mario guy, you're a Zelda guy, you're whatever. Oh, well, I'll be Mario and we can play, right? And so just a great thing. I love it to death.
That's a great pick.
All right, so is it my turn? So it is my turn.
We're to you.
So I don't have this, and I'm shocked I don't have this, Andy. And this is one of those ones I need to pick up while I'm out and about at one of these conventions. But I do have a version of this. I have the Super Nintendo version of it, kind of. When my buddy Kevin, I was just mentioning him, religious fanboy, welcome in the house. It's been a while. We've got to see you. Thanks for being here, man. Good seeing you. So Kevin, our buddy Damon, like Johnny Damon, I guess, or Damon Berryhill, or Damon Wayans. Anyways, Damon. He hung out with us for about 3 years, and he was the very first kid that I knew got Super Mario Brothers 3. This is Mario All-Stars, which has Mario 3 on it.
Yeah.
I have a Super Mario 3. I cannot believe that out of all the games I have. And I don't have a huge... This is just like my childhood games. I never got rid of them. And I started collecting recently. I need a Super Mario 3. That's probably... But anyways, Mario All-Stars is what I have here. But as a kid, he was the first one I knew. I remember like day one, he had Super Mario 3. And we all slept at his house. I remember listening to Pink Floyd. Like, those weird nostalgia things. And I remember as a kid, we're like, you're listening to Pink Floyd? What is this? This is weird. Hey. And now we all love Pink Floyd. I mean, I didn't love Pink Floyd then, but I love them now. And I was like, I remember listening to Pink Floyd, playing this game. Kevin, Damon, we've talked about it, Andy, Marcus, a few other guys were there. And just going through the levels, learning the whistles and all that stuff. My number 2 is Super Mario 3. For the NES.
It's funny you say that whenever you talk about memories being linked to one another, like, because like Contra for me, every time I think of playing Contra, it's linked to Little Caesar's Pizza because that was the first time I
That's what we
ate Little
love about
Caesars pizza.
nostalgia. So
Yeah,
good.
it's like they're inevitably linked in my head. Like even when I just drive past a Little Caesars pizza, I immediately think Contra because that was the first time I ever had Little Caesars pizza.
That in a bottle is what we love about nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it's more than just the game we're talking about. It's all the other memories.
Right.
Not to get too deep and make everyone cry. So,
well, you can remember
Now, here's a funny
the
thing.
environment
I
that you're in too.
yeah,
I've talked to Kevin about this. Little Timmy in the house. Little Timmy, you're going to on to 6th grade next year, by the way. He was in my class last year. He is our favorite moderator. You'll have to go to bed early tomorrow night because it's your first day at school. But hey, we'll welcome back, man. Good to see you. So what I was going to say is Kevin and I have chatted about this. I can only find Damon, what his last name is, one person in the world. I've searched him up, and he's a doctor in Baton Rouge, but he doesn't show a picture. And I always ask him, like, is that him? Did he become a doctor? And every time I look him up, I'm like hoping there's a picture now. Nope, not a picture. But anyways, linking it together, man. Linking it together. I almost put Zelda there just because, but everybody would have laughed because I do it too often. Super Mario 3.
One of my favorite games.
I was kind of
all
worried,
time.
actually. You said top 5 games. I was like, is this a chance we're going to crush more anywhere? And I had Contra on my list as an honorable mention today. So, anyways, Andy, you're up.
Yeah. Just to that point, yeah, Super Mario Bros. 3, fantastic.
Look at this dude. Miss you. Hey, Farhan, I miss you, man. It's time to admin abuse. Our favorite moderator.
Yeah.
Hey,
Nightbot.
he's about to exit Nightbot.
Hey, Nighttime Luigi, real quick. I know you said thank you for hopping in, even if for just a minute. Welcome to the Summit Squad.
Hey, drop your channel before you go.
Top 4. So we'll go at 4. Mortal Kombat Trilogy, Mario Party, Smash Bros. Melee. There we go. And then Mario Kart 64. That is a great
That's a great list. Hey,
Yeah.
Fat Boy's in the house, and I think Fat Boy's coming on possibly with Koi Fish in January and February. So
Come on.
welcome,
Well,
Fat Boy.
Night,
15 in the chat. Let's go.
Nighttime Luigi. I know it's not officially a Crushmore, but it will be because you said it in yours, and I'll just say it. It's not an actual Crushmore because it's in the chat. But my link, surprisingly, probably to Kirk, that it's not number 1, but I'm going Mario Kart 64. I know
64
Double Dash. I get it. I get all of the other things. I get that the game's been proved. Nostalgia hasn't changed for me. It's always been 64. The soundtrack, the racing, the levels, everything about it. But what makes it an exceptionally well sleepover game is the multiplayer mode on 64, shooting the balloons, donut, whatever the donut palace place is, the one with the 3 levels, the red, green, yellow, and blue, like that is just the bomb. I hated playing the skyscraper because you always went too fast and just fell off the side and lost the balloon. But it is what it is. But I absolutely love Mario Kart 64. I mentioned I brought my 64 to my youth group. This was the other game that I was smoking everyone in. And I know it's because of the controller, and it just makes me feel good about myself. So just take it easy on me. But this is a super fun game. Welcome to Mario Kart. Like the opening scene with everything. I absolutely love this game, Rainbow Road. I did not like Mario Kart for the NES. I just didn't. It was too difficult for me. It was like turning was hard. It's just everything was like crazy in that game. And the fact that everything was like flat earth level, so everything, there was no like change in elevation or anything. This game then adds in all of that kind of stuff, and I love this game so much. Mario Kart 64. I've gone on record to say it's my favorite 64 game. I know there's a whole group of people who think Diddy Kong Racing is better. It's not better. It's good. It's very good. It's a very good game. But let's stop the heresy here. It's Mario Kart 64. This is the game. And listen, you put this game in, you start playing, you don't realize that it's already daytime. Like you had a sleepover and you're like, what? Just where did time go? We warp into this area. It's a game you can't put down, is what I'll say. Super fun. I love Mario Kart 64.
That's an excellent pick, man. So Farhan's asking everybody to put a W in the chat or he's going to ban you. David Bryant Piano is, guys, by the way, David Bryant Piano runs the Augusta Video Gaming Exposition, and he's going to have one on March 21st. And potentially Andy and I will be a part of that in Augusta, Georgia. So if any of you guys want to be a part of that or come visit, get with David and check out his channel. By far, really cool. Fat Boy, the balloon battle, only good mode in Mario Kart World. I mean, it's kind of it's one of those games that kind of bug me sometimes, but I actually love a lot of the battles that come in Mario Kart. Andy, I didn't play 64 Mario Kart, obviously, as much as I wanted to, because that was at Ron's house, same guy that had all the other 64 games. I still don't own a 64. I do have some 64 games here, but I don't play them that often because they're just not nostalgic for me. But I do love it. I made it lag a little bit. My bad. It's okay. But PCG's throwing W's in. So good pick. And Mario Kart, we can't speak enough about it. Smash Brothers can't speak enough. Whatever iteration you pick is awesome. So all right. So this is our George pick. Jay, what is the best sleepover game of all time?
Well, I respect your pick, Kirk, for Super Mario Brothers 3 because that's one of my favorite games of all time. But as far as sleepover games, nothing will ever beat the original Super Mario Brothers because that was the first game I ever played. I mentioned it before, my friend Joey that I played Excite Bike with. But when he got his Nintendo, we played Super Mario Brothers endlessly for weeks, months, probably, just going back and forth. You know, it's not a co-op game, but it is like one person dies, the next person takes over. But it is, I think, the greatest sleepover game of all time.
Hey, David, real quick, Excite Bike was his Rosie. So you seem to be agreeing here. Yeah, so that's good. Yeah, Super Mario Bros. Hey, it's what we're celebrating, right? 40 years of this happening is this year, 85 to, which is crazy that 85 was, no.
My original 1985, 86. There it is.
See, I wanted to have all my parts ready to show too, but I just moved into my new house like a month ago, so all my gaming stuff is still in a box, like right over here.
Hey,
real quick, I'm not really flexing with this game. There he is. There he is, Kevin.
And Bill Keys in the house. What's up, Bill? We'll see you this weekend, right?
Kevin's one of my. Kevin, we're talking about video games from sleepovers, and some of my Benjamins are from your house. So hopefully you hang out. And Kevin, oh, by the way, this weekend is RetroCon. Hopefully you get to go and hang out with us. But Kevin, I mentioned Super Mario 3 because of Damon's house. So hanging out with him and listening to Pink Floyd, you, Marcus, anybody else that would go over there. I remember going to eat Chinese food too, sizzling goba. I remember all that because of that one little memory. Anyways, he says Mario, Super Mario, great pick. We talk about this a lot this time.
But you could also actually you could double it and say Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a twofer here, right?
So I actually had we had a youth conference here, and Ben Robert, who runs STCC, gave me a giveaway to give to one of the youth pastors who came. And it was not an NES actual console, but it was a console that would play NES cartridges. But I didn't have any cartridges to give away too. I was like, I don't want to just give away a console and get something. So then I reached out to my buddy David Finn, who's in the con market, friend from mine in high school, but also in the con world too. And I said, don't give me anything valuable. I mean, it could just be I just want to have something to put in there. So he throws in Super Mario Bros., Duck Hunt, and Track Stars or Track whatever. What's the
track and field?
Track and Field. It was a 3 for. I was like, dude, I kind of want to keep this whole thing myself now, but I did give it away. So,
yeah. Hey,
That's a
GoldenEye
great
was
choice.
already mentioned. Bill, you're going to be there at the convention this week. Let us know. Let us know if you're going to be there. GoldenEye has been mentioned. World-class track meet. Yeah,
that's it. That's it.
World-class
Like you had the mat, and then you instead of running, you
because you get too tired. You doing it with your feet, so you just get down on the floor.
that boy says track and field. I got that and the power pad still. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I see the power pad every once in a while at those conventions.
That was like the original. What was the Wii Fit?
Yeah.
Dance
How
Dance
about the hula
Revolution
hoop?
type thing.
The hula hoop one.
Yeah, it's funny.
That
That's
power
funny.
pad though, yep, Dark Link. Power pad in the box, dude. That's crazy. I mean,
one thing we could say about
I saw a thing
Nintendo.
the other day. There was a Walmart closing or something. I don't remember, and I think it was in a thread, and somebody like was cleaning it out and selling or whatever, and they pulled out a sealed, dust-covered Mario 64 unopened.
I saw that.
Wow.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Crazy. Anyways, and sometimes I wonder if that was like, yeah, you're trying to get some views, so you just set that up. But anyways, it's pretty cool if it would happen. All right, so that is a cool George, and it was my wavelength was kind of on there. I'm glad you picked it because really, without that game, I'm not a gamer.
Yeah.
So I'm not.
You could say it's the most important video game of all time.
Before you had the battery in it, I would pause the game and go to bed and wake up in the morning and unpause it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Derek, you're up, man.
So whenever I compiled this list, I instantly knew what my number one was because I have so many. I could do a whole podcast based on memories just from playing this game alone, from the LAN parties to eventually playing online.
Oh yeah.
Having to get Xbox Live because I was tired of just getting beaten mercilessly by my friends and other people online. But when push comes to shove, my number one is and always will be the original Halo Combat Evolved.
There it is.
Saved it to the end. Yeah, when this game came out, it was the first game I can remember being more like an event than just a video game release because it changed multiplayer gaming so much from doing the LAN parties. And for those who may not know what that is, that's where you have to get people together with Xboxes. You connect through Ethernet and you can all play together. So you can have more than 4. You can have up to 16, I think. And my friend Jonathan had this huge living room. He was a good friend of mine from high school. And he had this huge living room where we would get 16 or more of us most Saturday nights. And that's what we would do. Pizza Hut is what I always think of when I think of Halo.
Yeah.
Nacho cheese and Cool Ranch Doritos and Mountain Dew Code Red. I associate all these things with Halo, and it tested many a friendship every Saturday. From I mentioned it earlier, from potential screen watching, arguments would happen, but we would all have fun in the end. So Halo was easily my number one.
Yeah, this is
Combat Evolved.
Grand Slam. What a good pick. Obviously I shared about it. It's our Crushmore tonight, or at least it's unless something else happens again. But yeah, this is a fantastic pick. Love this game. And I will say this, just that whole world of you saying Cool Ranch Doritos, Code Red, Nacho Cheese, Pizza Hut. That's what I long for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That I'll tell you, I come across, and I'm sure you guys find them too, reels or shorts or whatever of like things that only 90s and 2000s kids will remember. And it's just like either the sound of like kids like, or like that nostalgia, the Aquatic Ambient song. And I mentioned this in Triggers 2 weeks ago. Yeah, this is a solid pick. And I love everything about the world that it brings you to.
Dude, there's nothing I want more in this world than old school Pizza Hut pizza.
Dude,
So
the deep dish from Pizza Hut that was on at the buffet. What?
Yeah.
Pizza Hut buffet is a relic in time that I wish was still
found
around.
out apparently, and not too far from really, I mean, us. I was talking to a guy in Foley, Alabama, or in that area. There's still an operating Pizza Hut buffet.
That's like on the way to all of our house. We can meet
Right.
there.
It's like either in Foley or kind of like right around there. Apparently, there's still. I haven't looked it up, but yeah, I'm like, oh, dude, that may need to happen,
dude.
Did you guys ever see the movie Ratatouille?
Oh yes,
yeah.
So do you remember the scene when the old food critic bites into the ratatouille and it like transports him back? That's what happens every time I take a bite of Pizza Hut pizza.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
See, that's the thing. If Pizza Hut wants to come back, McDonald's wants to get all the people back that used to go to McDonald's. Stop making McDonald's look like a sanitarium. Like make it for like depressed adults. Like make it look like an old school McDonald's.
Well,
it
looks like an office building now.
Police with a jail you can't get out of. Because if we got up there in that jail thing nowadays, we're stuck. You're calling the police to get us out.
Yeah, Jaws of Life. Yeah, they've tried to do things like like even with the Happy Meal toys, they've done like they brought back like the McNugget guys or whatever. It was like with whatever that designer was, and I was like, that's not what we want though. We want just give me anyway. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. They bring back the snack wrap, but then they make it snack wrap a new flavor. No, I want what was there.
Yeah, I want to walk into to McDonald's with the brown floor tile, with old French fries like just jammed into the like grout.
Yes. And those cookies.
Yes,
the shortbread cookies, whatever.
Oh, those were so
that
good.
Came in like a little bag. Like they don't even. Oh. Anyway.
I just want another apple pie with like the inside that is just below the surface of the sun. You gotta like take a little corner
Nowadays,
off and then
you get those apple pies. They've been there for like a month, and they're like rubber.
Yeah, there you go. He said, "Pizza Hut book it, Fat Boys." You remember that? That added to a lot of childhood obesity.
For my free pan pizza. I want the prices from 2002 where
none of us actually read that many books.
I did. I was a chunky kid, but I was well read.
No, that's how
well fed and well educated.
That's how I learned forgery.
I read all those books for the free pizza. I could tell you what, the only free food I got when I was a kid at our Little League Park. I've mentioned this before on the show. For coach pitch, there was a sign that was in left center field. Like a home run. And if you hit the sign, it was Bob's Big Boy. You went in and got you a free burger meal. And I hit that joker a couple times back in the day. That's a proud moment. If you hit that sign, people knew. They were like, bro, you got a free burger. Yeah,
I remember when I was a kid, I would, I was kind of sick a lot as a kid. So I was constantly at the doctor, but they would always give me, a free cone from McDonald's whenever I would go to the doctor. I remember going to the doctor with like 105-degree fever, and they're just like, here, have some dairy. There you go.
All right, well, it's my turn. Let's get us back on track so that we can go to work. Let's do this. I've been holding on to this one. So, couple friends. So I had my friend Nick. I had my friend Chris. I had my crew of friends with Kevin, Damon, Marcus, and them. And then I had kind of like a built-in friend. One of my best friends in my life. I had two best men in my wedding, and he was one of them, my nephew. And his name is Kyle. And I used to go to his house. He didn't play a lot of video games, but he did play this particular game quite a bit. And we would do this video game, and then we would go out to the trampoline and mimic it. PCG mentioned it earlier. Here's my fighting game, guys. I'm going with WCW
versus
the world. look, we would. This is one of those. It was in the early times where you start to create your own wrestler. You and that's my little copy all broken up. I was pulling my instructions out and like, oh gosh, what a fun time. But anyways, we would play this game, and we beat the crap out of each other, and then we would go outside, and we would host our own backyard wrestling. And this is 94, so it's right before the height of the big boom. And then I'm not going to say it today, and it's kind of cheating. It was between the two. This one's a later game, but kind of the same covers. But we would. Oh, I even switched the wrong one. But we would go outside and backyard wrestle and try and do the moves of these guys that we were creating outside. And I remember this. If my sister was on this channel, she'd be like, "Oh my gosh, it was the most irritating thing." So in my nephew's room, the trampoline was. So I would stay at my sister's house. My nephew is 5 years younger than me. So, and my sister's like 16 years older than me. So I was almost like another kid to her. And so, we would open the back window of his room, and we would take the TV and set it up on the back window, and we would play it and watch the move, and then try and do it on each other. And we would do that all night long until the bugs started coming through the window, and we had to go inside. But when it comes to sleepover games, one of our loves for wrestling. And we just love wrestling. I mean, our whole family loved wrestling for so long, but there it is, man. It's not the best one. And when we did wrestling games before, I mentioned it. It's because of the nostalgia. It's definitely not the best one, but this is the one I played for sleepovers.
Yeah, that's a great pick. It was a matter of time until we had wrestling. So great way to go. It was hard for me to pick a wrestling one because I played so many of them.
Well, those two were very specific with that. I had the other ones, but those two, yeah. So that's my George. You guys like wrestling games at all?
Yes and no. I mean, there's some that I really do enjoy a lot. But as far as going back as far as when I was a kid, I'm the only one that I really played was like WrestleMania and like tag team wrestling. But
the WrestleManias were fun because he would kick like straight up, like his leg would just.
But I didn't have any kind of memories of playing those with anyone though.
Yeah, pro wrestling was a good one. Also, David Bryant. Did anyone ever play the Stone Cold Stunner game? I don't even remember.
Never heard of that.
I'm googling it now.
No,
WCW NWO Revenge. Andy has it in his pocket. He might actually say it next. He's got a George left. He might actually pull that out next because he's a 64 guy. Yes, there have been some wrestling games. Kids would go around and stun their friends. That's hilarious. Oh, so like not a video game stunner game. Just like
I was like, because I can't find anything.
Oh, so you'd actually just walk up to somebody and
stunning people in like recess type.
That's
thing.
like RKO out of nowhere.
I've done a few stunners to people. Now it's RKO, right?
Yeah.
Especially like in a pool. Yeah. Anyways, that's my pick for George. Had to do it. And what do you got, Andy? What do you got?
I am not picking a wrestling game. So sorry for the reason I just said. There was just so many of them. WCW NWO Revenge is one of my favorites right now. My daughter actually likes playing that against me. Super fun. But I didn't necessarily play those as much. I did some of them. There is a Benjamin that I'm holding on to eventually for a wrestling one. However, I am picking a fighting game. Now, just to lay the groundwork here a little bit, this was when I would go spend the night at my grandmother's house. Believe it or not, and here's why. I mentioned this on the show before. I have an uncle who is maybe 5 years older than me, so it's kind of like a cousin. It didn't really feel like an uncle. And he had some video game systems, and I would I would go spend the night at my grandmother's house, mainly because I wanted to play my Uncle Matt's video games. I just wanted to go do that. Action figures, all kinds of stuff. It was one of those things. They had a 4-wheeler, so and they had land, and it was a great place to go as a kid. But I remember specifically playing this game and getting blisters on my hands. I got blisters on me fingers, right? Like I would get that because of the button mashing that I would do. And I loved this game. And it's one of the greatest ones that's out there. PCG, I do believe you like this one too. And somebody mentioned it earlier. I think actually David mentioned it in his top 4. I'm going Mortal Kombat 3. MK3 was the game. Now I love all Mortal Kombat, and he definitely had just Mortal Kombat, right? And you again picking 8 characters or whatever, but it was perfected in my opinion, at least from a nostalgia standpoint. In MK3, I loved that game. Picking characters on there, we talk about it a lot. My go-to choice for characters was always Cabal. I loved Cabal in that one, but I loved Scorpion was always like one of my favorites of the ninjas. But then when you add in Cyrax and in there too is super cool. But dude, this game again, from button mashing to playing this game all night to it felt like a game that I wasn't supposed to be playing. Because it's 1995. This game's out, so I'm 6. I was playing it probably like 97. So I mean, I'm like 7-8 years old playing this game. I'm used to playing Mario and all these happy-go-lucky games, and then you get Mortal Kombat where you're killing these people. Just a blast. It was one of those. Again, it was a cool moment because I was hanging out with my uncle, who's like my cousin. For whatever reason, they would always order Domino's pizza. So I have a lot more nostalgia to like delivery Domino's, and it doesn't taste the same now. But we would have Domino's, and they were a Pepsi family. Nobody's perfect, okay? But they would have Pepsi. But something about Domino's and Pepsi and MK3 and staying up to all hours of the night playing Mortal Kombat 3 with my uncle. It's one of those just core memories in my life. I love Mortal Kombat 3. I love all the Mortal Kombats, but that's the one that holds the most nostalgia for me. And again, one of the main reasons outside of that, I really wasn't going to my grandma's house for many other reasons other than I was going to go play the video games there. So, yeah.
I'm pulling up some Mortal Kombat 3 with Cabal.
Nice.
We talked about it too. Cabal is my go-to, but I mean, listen, I would pick plenty of people. Look, I was a young child, I would pick Sindel, and I would pick some of those ones just so I could see.
What was what's the boss guy? He's a horse.
Oh, not Shao Kahn. No, Shao Kahn. No,
Motaro,
Motaro.
The other guy.
Motaro, was it?
Motaro, is that him?
Motaro.
See, Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah, Motaro is he's the half horse, half demon.
I thought Kentaro was the
Motaro
tiger-looking guy.
Motaro.
Motaro.
Motaro. Motaro. Yes.
Yeah.
See, I have way more nostalgia for Mortal Kombat 2 because I was a Baraka guy.
And on MK1, I would pick Baraka for sure. He was the guy.
It's funny. I have the most nostalgia for MK1.
Really?
So we complete the whole trilogy. I was always a Sub-Zero guy.
I love Mortal Kombat 3 for Cabal. I loved all the Mortal Kombats, but
I just know this Striker was the worst. Don't be Striker. Throwing bombs and having a gun. It felt like a dumb American character.
I'm not a Johnny Cage guy either, and I saw that new trailer. It's
the new movie is apparently all Johnny Cage.
Cool.
So.
I was really hoping The Miz from WWE was going to play Johnny Cage. I thought he would have been perfect, but I think Carl Urban will do great.
See, my very first job, I think I just realized something. My boss was very devious. My very first job when I think I was 14 when I started working my first job. And he had it was a pizza restaurant, and he had a Mortal Kombat 2 machine in the back. And on our breaks, that's all we would do was spend all of our money playing Mortal Kombat 2. So we would make our paychecks, but then spend half of it in the Mortal Kombat 2 machine.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have finished our mountains. Now let's get to our Benjamins. Thanks for hanging around, guys. Johnny Cage had the most difficult combo controls. He definitely did. Motaro, yep. Let's do this. It's all about the Benjamins time. Let's get it. Right, you know how we do it. Mortal Kombat 3's off the list. Mario 3's off the list. All those things are gone. We have to give new picks. We're going to go the same order. David, Jay, you're first. I don't know why I said David. I looked over at the comments. Jay, you're first. Derek, me, Andy. But then in second round, it's backwards. Andy, me, Derek, Jay. And third, it's regular. Fourth, it's backwards. So, Jay, you get first pick, and you get Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant of Sleepover Games. So you get to pick first. There is a little bit of gamesmanship. We don't have to jump into a whole lot of information about these. These are just so there. When we first started the show, we found out that Benjamin Franklin potentially could have been the fifth guy on the mountain. So we're talking about who missed your mountain today, who could have made it but did not. First one off the list for you, Jay. Give us one that you just have to throw out.
The first one I had to drop, even though I love this game so much. I love the arcade version, and they made a banger NES version of this game. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game.
Excellent pick.
Quad, like 4-player. I love playing the new Switch one.
Yeah.
Playing that with my son. Good pick, man. It was on a lot of lists over the course of 5 years. Derek, what's your next one you have to talk about?
So this is another one that I just have so many great memories with, and that's Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 for the, I believe it was for the Xbox 360. Me and my friends were huge, and still are huge, Marvel fans, and it adapted the Civil War storyline. So getting to choose sides, and the character selection was just so good.
PCG says Mortal Kombat 2 is his favorite. Speaking of part 2s and speaking of fighting games, this one's my favorite. Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Yeah.
Classic.
There it is right there. Gosh, I love this game. We talk about it in fighting games. That's going to be my first Benjamin off the list. Street Fighter 2. I love the Turbo edition. I love when it sped it up a little bit, but I'll take it. Andy, you get back-to-back picks.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick my wrestling game now.
Okay.
Although I'm not sure gamesmanship, but I do get 2 picks here. It was mentioned, David, I think mentioned it in the chat. Going back to Raymond Toop's house, Justin Toop's house, SmackDown. Here Comes the Pain.
So good.
I'm gonna go with that one. PS.
Really?
Yeah, this was a super fun game.
That's a good pick.
Brock Lesnar on the cover of that one. But yeah, so this is I could literally put a hand in a bucket and pick out one of those wrestling games from that time, and I played it. So could have gone anyway, but I do have some specific memories of that one. So SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. That is going to be the first one off there. And then my next one, this was a super fun game, PlayStation. Let's go ahead and do Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal, super fun. It was kind of another dark game. You know, I'm in high school-ish time, junior high school time in my death metal phase, and Twisted Metal just fit right into that. So, yeah.
Sweet Tooth.
Yeah.
All right. Love that game, too. That's a good pick. 1998 was right before I went to the Air Force. I purchased this game because I love baseball, and I was in a dorm room in my college, and I had a roommate, so that's kind of like a sleepover, and we played this game all the time. Triple Play 98. Old Brian Jordan on the cover with the Cardinals. What's really cool about this was the home run derby was so awesome, and the intro to this game, like, my mind was blown. Like, seriously, the cinematics to get into this game, they had Ken Caminetti throwing from his butt from, like, the bleachers, and I always loved just watching it. Anyways, Triple Play 98. That's another good baseball game. All right, Derek, you're up.
Baseball game. Staying in the sports game realm, I'm going to pick the pack-in game for the Wii Sports.
Oh, that was my next. I almost picked it.
So my only problem and why I didn't make it, because I absolutely agree. I was not in the sleepover realm during
So
Wii
the
Sports.
reason I haven't
That's
picked
why-
this is because this
But I
was
can
my
imagine.
adult late night before I got sober, drinking our brains out with friends. Everybody came over and played.
Yeah,
I love
it's a fantastic, and also we want to talk about music. It's probably one of the more iconic songs. I mean, it's played on every reel now too.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. And there's just so many it's embedded, like it lives rent free in my head sometimes. I love the baseball and the golf specifically, but all the games on Wii Sports are great.
So when we
Table
had
tennis
friends
is super
over, it
fun.
was tennis.
Yeah,
Solo for
Yep.
me, it was baseball and bowling. Golf was
Oh,
my
bowling
least
was
favorite.
great.
Bowling's great. Yeah.
Bowling's fantastic. I also love. Was it Wii Sports or maybe I think it was Resort had the like the jousting thing or whatever. Like you.
Oh,
like,
the fencing. Yep.
Fencing. Yeah,
That
yeah.
was
But it was
Resort,
like
yeah.
on like a skyscraper or something. Like you would knock them off into. Yeah, it was fun.
All right, so Jay, you get back-to-back picks. All
right.
Second to beginning of the third.
Well, the first one at my number 2 spot is a must-have, or was a must-have NES game. It was great at the time. Doesn't hold up so well over time, but when you get down to the final boss is your friend who you've played through the whole game, trying to rescue your the girlfriend, and now you're fighting over her. But with Double Dragon is going to be on my list.
So
Great game.
fun story. I have the copy of Double Dragon from my friend Chris Miller. That's the copy of Double Dragon I own. So that's a good pick. This is my son's favorite NES game. You get another one.
All right. Well, the next one is another game that doesn't hold up, but at the time was really fun and one of the best like sports games to play on the NES. Double Dribble.
Back to back.
Wow. The old cinematics when he's like,
yeah. It's one frame a minute for that.
We've come so far.
Oh yeah.
so
but then you'd have that
naming this
one
game
person
tonight.
that
It's not nearly a close game. I hope nobody mentions this one, but I did not have Double Dribble. I had Hoops.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, where it's like 1-on-1 in the backyard. What a terrible game.
But then you'd have that one friend that would find the spot on the floor where you could just always make 3-pointers and just break the game. And you're just like, hey, we can't play anymore. Don't come over.
PNX, I'm glad you're here. PNX is on our show 2 weeks ago. What a great channel. Everybody go watch. They're almost to 1,000. I mean, they're creeping. Go help them. They're such a great channel.
Creep.
Awesome.
You get another. Wait, no, that was your second one.
Yeah.
So Derek, you're up.
I'm going to go ahead and get my one single player game out of the way. Again, this was a game that my friends and I went to the midnight release and we played it till the sun came up and had many, many more get-togethers playing this game after that. Skyrim.
Oh, wow.
Nice. So, yeah, there's the role-playing game. You're going to go and have friends watch you play.
The depth in that game, just from the Mages Guild to all the different storylines you can do, is just, I feel like I could never complete that game. Yeah, there's just so much to do in it.
I had to sell it because I was too addicted.
Problem is, I'll never even begin it. So
yeah, well, there you go.
You never complete it if you don't start it. No.
Yeah, that's true.
I like to rag on.
That would make for a great T-shirt, by the way. You'll never complete it if you don't start it.
If you don't start it. You also never fail.
All right, so I'm kind of glad this one fell in my lap, Andy, and it's why I'm a Chiefs fan. Yep, I got to do it. Tecmo Super Bowl, 1992. There's my name on it. Everybody played with Bo Jackson, and I played with Okoye, and I've been a Chiefs fan since '92, man. So there it is. Yeah, Andy, you get back-to-back jacks.
Yeah, I didn't think this one would land here, and I actually I picked Twisted Metal last, and I overlooked this one on my Benjamin's list, and I was like, dang it, I lost it, but it came back to me. So this is later on, and it's Ryan's and Benjamin's. This game is, I think, 2005, so I'm like about to graduate high school. I'm in that area, and this is just super fun. And then it actually carried over into my college years. And technically they were sleepovers because we were out partying until past midnight. And we would pass out, but who knows? I'm going Guitar Hero. Guitar Hero is just a sleepover classic multiplayer. I mean, you could not be mad and play Guitar Hero unless you were like trying through whatever these songs that were impossible. But yeah, Guitar Hero. I had to go with that one. And then my last pick, this is going to be my curveball, interesting one. This was a game that on the computer, okay, and my friends would come over and we had it, and it would be like a take turns kind of thing. But sometimes it was just like, watch me play while you guys are doing whatever. Like we'd have this on. It was one of those games so outside of, I would say so outside. There's other games like it that I kind of like, but it was kind of a one of those early ASMR calming things for me. And it's Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Oh,
Roller
yeah,
Coaster.
I love that game.
We would build these things, but you would build a roller coaster on purpose to like kill people, or like you would do it and like close all the bathrooms so they had to throw up everywhere in the park. You would. It really brought out the true nature of you. When you were roller coaster Tycoon. But I love this game. I super love this game.
All right. Well, one of my favorite Nintendo stories, not Nintendo stories, but Nintendo feats that I ever did is that I 100% got the password for this game. It is my Double Dragon J, and Kevin mentioned it earlier. I'm going
River
City Ransom.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
And there it is, 100%. And the crazy thing is, I pulled the code out.
There's a cat on
the cheat code, and I put it in here and got there. There's Jay's kid. There it is.
Yeah, there he is, right here.
There's his kid. All right, so you got your last pick, Derek, of the night.
So I'm going to say I saved my wrestling pick for last, and I think this is actually one of the more underrated wrestling games. It didn't have the greatest of character selections, but I really enjoyed the create a wrestler mode, especially when you create, yourself and your friends, and you all just beat the crap out of each other and fighting ladder matches, TLC matches. My pick is WWE Day of Reckoning for the GameCube.
Oh,
okay.
That would do with me.
Day of Reckoning. I got to pull that one up just so I can. Day of Reckoning. But I do love create a character, so.
No, I don't. I have WrestleMania 24 for GameCube.
Oh, I remember that game. Yeah. I think that was before. I think that was the year before Day of Reckoning.
Anyways, one more pick, Jay. Finish our night off. Time to head on out.
Well, me and you, Kirk, we were almost on the same page. Almost on the same page. You picked Tecmo Super Bowl. I picked regular Tecmo Bowl.
Good. I got that one too. That's the original Bo Jackson, man.
Oh yeah.
They only had like 8 teams in that one. Not nearly as many. But yeah, that's a great game as well. My version, I think I still have the like Blockbuster sticker on it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, look, man. First off, thanks for being here. For the 12 people that have hung around since the beginning, make sure you drop your channels in the chat. Most of you guys have hung around here long enough, and you've been around that you know what to do. Thanks for being here, PNX, PCG, everybody. Hopefully, you guys come back and see the weekly Warp Pipe Gang next week. We have a couple guys coming on, some good friends. They're going to do collectible grails in a couple weeks. There's some convention friends. We're going to do top 4 Sith of all time with General Kenobi and Dad Vader. We're going to do, and that's going to end nostalgia. And then I think we're starting sports and with a bang with Square Peg's going to do some logos, all kinds of stuff. If you want to be on the show, we have some food openings left in December. We'd love to fill those out. I do need some food opportunities. January and February is almost full, if not full already. And movies, TV, music are filling up now as well. Drop me a chat. PCG, I know you're coming up soon. PNX, we'd love to have you back on. David Bryant, he's going to be on soon. We love you guys, man. Thanks for being here. Will you guys, before we head out, tell everybody that's still here, you can join this Blind Gamer and Preacher Monday. Yeah. There's PCG's information. Go follow him. Tell us, Jay, about your channel for the people that may have missed it earlier on, and tell them what you've got coming up soon and why they should come watch.
Yeah, just go to nerdcaveretro.com. That'll take you everywhere you need to go, all the socials, ways to find the show. We record it live. Me and Derek record live every Monday night at 6 p.m. Central. Each week we take turns reviewing old games. We talk about the retro gaming news of the week. We talk video game history. And we're coming up on our 10-year anniversary, so go give us a follow everywhere. And also too, I wanted to say the spooky season's coming up, and next year is going to be the 10th anniversary of a movie I made with Mr. Dante from Clerks, and also Jeremy London from Mallrats. We made a movie a couple of years ago called Monsters Anonymous. You can watch that for free on YouTube at youtube.com/@monstersanonymous.
So Nerd Cave Retro Dark Link, if somebody could drop that in the chat. Aaron Brown, better late than never. Aaron Brown is my work friend. He is the STEM teacher. I'm the health teacher. Thanks for coming in. Nerd Cave Retro, there it is. You'll find all the stuff there. Also, Derek, share what you have coming up. You have some other endeavors yourself. There's another word, endeavors.
Good.
Yourself.
Good word.
Oh, by the way, I went and snatched it up while you were chatting. There's the little.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
It says $4.95, baby. $4.95.
I think I have an actual NES game with a Blockbuster sticker on it, but it says "Be Kind, Rewind." It's like what?
So Derek, tell us all about your stuff. Hey, thanks, Dark Link. Thanks for subbing, my friends. Dark Link goes live quite a bit and plays a ton of Zelda games and other games too. Go follow him. Great channel, great community.
Nice.
Derek, share what you got going on, and then we'll go home.
Yeah, so I'm an independent filmmaker in addition to a podcaster. There's a couple of shorts that I wrote and directed that you can find at youtube.com/@Anchor of Reality Productions. I'll put a link in the chat. I'm producing a short now written by my friend Chad Sanders called Wired for Sound. We're going to be filming that in the middle and end of September. Here in the Pensacola area, we're doing a GoFundMe to try to raise money. And if you want to check out episodes from my former podcast, the Derek Diamond Experience, where I interviewed various filmmakers, actors, directors, you can go to youtube.com/@Derek Diamond, DEREK Diamond.
Nice.
So cool.
Hey, I just want to show this off real quick. We were just talking about Blockbuster stickers. Banjo Tooie, property of Blockbuster.
Nice.
I got that on there.
Like when you go to these conventions, they get all like up in arms about the stickers and the writing. Like,
I love them.
I'm like, that makes it worth way more to me than not having it. So, guys, thanks for being here. You guys have done so much out there in the interwebs. We'd love to have you come back on. Sounds like y'all both like movies quite a bit.
Absolutely.
We'd love to have you in movies
yeah.
and TV. Movies and TV for us is May and June. It's May and June. And so as for everybody out there, basically you come on as long as we haven't done the topic, it's free to talk about. And as long as it's appropriate for all audiences, we can probably take the challenge. But yeah, we'd love to have you guys back on, maybe movies and TV. And everybody, go sub, all those things. Go and look, don't just go randomly sub and disappear. Go check it out first. If it's your stuff, then continue to support. That's how this communities work, man. And so I wish I could support all the people I sub. Sometimes I sub people early on. I'm like, dang, I haven't seen them in forever. I feel bad. Now that I'm a YouTuber, it's like, which that's weird to even say. Like now I'm online. It's like now I know why they don't come because they're so busy doing other stuff.
Yeah.
But look, guys, we love you so much for coming on here. We love you in the community. Guys, don't be strangers in the community as well. We'll try and chat like we were this Monday. Thank you for being here. Everybody, we'll see you next time, next Thursday, being around. Andy, it is time to go right at the 2-hour mark. Dude, we almost did it. Hey, so Andy, tell everybody good night.
Well, hey, thank you guys for joining. Thanks to everybody in the Summit Squad for being here tonight. But it's time to go to bed. This is the Rushmore Show, where it's all about your top 4.
And nothing else.
Hey,
Nothing more.